Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a place where love doesn't fade with time. It grows stronger. Introducing Timeless Together, the YouTube channel dedicated to couples who have discovered that the real love story begins after the honeymoon, after the kids, and after decades of life together. Your hosts, Arnold and Bernice, have shared a lifetime of laughter, lessons, and unwavering commitment. And now, they're opening their hearts and their home to couples who know that marriage isn't just about the early chapters. It's about writing a beautiful ending together. Each episode will bring warm conversations, timeless relationship wisdom, heartfelt stories, and a few good laughs along the way. So, whether you've been married 25 years, 40 years, or even longer, this is your place to celebrate the journey of lasting love. Now, we invite you to sit back, hold your sweetheart's hand, and join Arnold and Bernice as they remind us all that the greatest love stories aren't the ones that start perfectly. They're the ones that last forever. Welcome to Timeless Together.
And welcome back to the channel. We're glad that you guys decided to come back and visit with us today. Hey, we're just over elated just to be here with you today. In our last session, you remember that we were discussing my visit with Bernice, and she said that she wanted to save it for this session to give you guys an update what really happened on that second visit. So we're going to pick up right there today and begin talking about that. And Bernice is going to be sharing with you what exactly happened.
Welcome back. Oh, well, like we ended and he came back. And you guys want to know, what happened? Well, it was a Sunday evening, of course. At that time, all the family members used to gather at our house. And my grandparents and aunts, uncle, and mom and dad and all the other, cousins. We were just there, just having an ordinary family evening. And all of a sudden, I heard this sound. The sound of his car, because he used to drive this, what was it, a
1972 Chevy Nova.
A 1972 Chevy Nova, but it was loud.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the, yeah.
It was extremely loud. So every time when he would leave home, I would know that, okay, he is traveling. Okay? Even though, mind you now, I didn't want to have anything to do with him.
Right.
But, so I heard the car coming, and I said, oh my goodness, I said, I hope he's not coming in this direction. And the noise got a little bit closer, but I was pretending like I'm not hearing it. And now, mind you, everyone in the neighborhood knows that sound of that car, okay? And then all of a sudden the car appeared, because where our house was located at, you could see the main highway.
Right.
And I'm like, don't let him stop, don't let him come, don't let him come.
Okay.
And he turned down the road. Right there, I'm like, oh my God, where is he going?
Wonder where he's going.
Yeah, wonder where he's going. And of course he came, drive up into the driveway, and he got out. And he boldly just walks right on up to where all the families were at and just say, good evening.
Pretty confident.
Confident, right. And at that time, I'm like, no, he didn't. I don't believe he's doing this. And of course, my family, they talked to him because they knew his parents.
Right.
And, they talked to him nicely, and all that time I'm like, I don't believe this. And eventually, he moved away, and the two of us moved away from the family, moved to the car, and was just like talking. I don't know what we were talking about.
All right.
I did not know.
Remember.
You don't remember, right?
Yeah. I was just glad that I was able to safely enter the premises.
Well, you got to leave the premises safe. Yeah, so, but he didn't stay long, Then, he departed. And I think that after all of that, well, the 2 times when him, just coming uninvited, I don't know what happened to my mom. So she just
She
said,
relented.
yeah, I guess she said,
She
I'm not,
gave in.
I'm not going to be able to stop this guy.
Yeah,
Just gonna, I don't know if my dad might have just said, just let her, let her have a boyfriend, like that. But evidently, she allowed me to start dating. Well, they allowed me to start dating him. And our first date, we went to the drive-in movies.
Yeah, it was the driving movies.
Yeah,
I do remember. Yeah.
I don't know what we looked at, but
It was, man, it's been so many years, I can't remember that.
Yeah. So
yeah.
went to drive-in movie,
Yeah.
and I didn't mind going. I said, well, that's time to get some popcorn, like that.
Wow.
So, so we went to the movies, and really our dating process, I guess it was okay for teenagers.
Yeah. I mean, this was something new to us.
Yeah.
So just to be able to say, hey, you know what? I took my girlfriend to the movies. She rode with me. We went out to the movies. That was just something different. And I guess I don't know. What were you thinking?
Yeah. All I was thinking about, okay, well, I'm going out again.
Yeah.
He's gonna buy me popcorn.
Okay.
And soda, because that was just something
Sure,
because
sure.
remember now, you wanted to date me, and so I went along with it. Okay, like that, okay? And the more we still had the telephone conversation going, and then eventually my parents allowed me to go, like, we had like sporting
Sporting
activities,
events, football,
and
basketball. We attended a few football games together as well. Yeah.
And we went to clubs and things like that,
Yeah.
And it went on, but, there's different things that's transpired during our time of our dating. But as it escalated, we started exploring new things.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we explored, which we was not aware of, I wasn't, aware of, because I just felt, well, this is the guy I'm dating and stuff like that, and some of the stuff that we were doing, it was fun,
Yeah.
But one in particular, it led into a teen pregnancy.
Yeah.
And that was like a shock.
Everything changed.
Yeah,
Everything
our
changed
whole
at this point.
the whole dynamic of our relationship changed,
Yes.
because when I discovered that the possibility that I was pregnant, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I think you and I both were basically, in shock and not, again, unfamiliar as teenagers. Again, you at that time, you were what, 15?
I was 14.
14, getting ready to be 15
Yeah,
years
I was-
old.
I was 14,
And
yeah.
here I am, I'm 15, getting ready to be 16.
Right.
So this is something new,
Right.
So so again, the question is now, okay, how do we?
Tell our parents.
Yeah.
Because I told him, and you
Yeah.
know what I did? I said, well, okay, I felt that it was his responsibility, just like how he bombarded his way into my life and say, I want to date her.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, now it's his responsibility to go and tell my parents and his parents.
Yes.
But I know when you came over, okay, to tell my mom, okay, because my dad was active in our lives, but at that time, your dad was always have us doing things,
Sure.
and my dad was he was just there,
Yeah.
but my mom, that was the one now, because like I shared with you guys, remember how mom was.
Yes.
And now,
Difficult.
how are we going to break this news to her?
Yeah.
That
was the challenge. I mean, after you shared it with me, that there was the possibility that you was pregnant. And of course, you never said, well, you need to tell my parents. You never say that, but intrinsically, I knew that. Well, okay, she shared it with me. I need to, let her parents know what's going on. So when I did I arrange a meeting with your mom? I can't remember how that happened. But I know I came over to your house.
You came up to the house. That was was it Sunday?
Actually, it was a weekday.
It was
a weekday.
Okay.
I came over there and I met with Bernice's mom, and I kind of like trying to feel my way around. I said, listen,
You told us to sit down.
yeah. I said, you might want to take a seat. And I guess that was, the icebreaker, because she was like, okay, something's going on here. She told him, he's asking me to take a seat. So, but when she sat and I said, there's a possibility that, Bernice might be pregnant, and we just want to confirm. I want to actually have her see a doctor, and her initial response was, I would, she didn't explode, right?
No.
She just kind of went silent for a minute. She said, well, she said something to the effect, well, I'll check that out. Something to that effect. I'll check it out, So, to me, I felt a sense of relief somewhat.
He felt a sense of relief,
because
guys.
I was expecting a different response.
Yeah, and but all that time I was like, I was just silent. I couldn't say anything because I'm like, I really did not know what, what was going to happen.
Right.
So fast forwarding it, about the pregnancy and stuff like that, and because you told your parents.
Yeah.
You had to go and tell your parents.
Yeah.
That what was happening.
That too was, kind of intimidating, because again, I'm thinking, okay, how this teenage boy is going to, tell his parent that, that I was sexually engaged, all right, and now that this girl that I was dating is possibly pregnant. That was very, very. I think it was more, to me, it was more intimidating than actually breaking it to Bernice's parents. So when I shared that I didn't want to tell my dad. I didn't want to tell my dad because I think it felt kind of awkward to do it at that time. So I took the different approach. Just like I went to Bernice's mom, I said, I'm going to go to my mom and share it with my mom and let her tell my dad, And of course, I shared it with her, and of course, she was in shock and awe. And to me, it was almost like it was different, because when I told Bernice's mom, I felt a sense of relief then. But when I told my mom and her response, I didn't felt that sense of relief,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was able to share it with them,
Right. Yeah. And we're not going to go in details because we have a long time with you guys, and eventually a lot of the information is going to be just coming up in different sessions and stuff.
Yes.
But the fast forward, the pregnancy, have the baby. So now we have to deal with the fact of we got being parent, a teenager still in school.
Yep.
You had graduated already.
Well, remember what happened that during that time? I was a junior.
Okay.
All right, but I had all my required credits, so I went to summer school, and I
Okay.
graduated early.
Yeah. But I had another year, so I had to
Yeah.
go back to school.
Yeah.
And back then, them days, but you guys can relate. Back in those days, it was different, very difficult. Being a unwed teenage mom.
Yes. Yes.
It was challenging.
Yeah.
But eventually, we came upon a decision that we're just gonna get married.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
because we feel, well, I think this is what we need to do.
Yeah. I mean, here it is now. We have a child. So what's next?
What's next?
Our lives. So we consider our lives now connected.
Yeah.
Because now this is what a family is supposed to look like.
Do the child.
Yes.
So he
Right.
asked me initially to get married, and I of course I turned him down. I
Right.
said, no.
Right. Yeah.
I said because I didn't feel that I should have make this decision, because I really didn't understood what was happening, what marriage was all about, and but then later on,
Yeah.
and we considered.
Yeah, after the second proposal, she agreed to, let us do this.
Yeah.
So again, so we decided to get married.
And we were 16. I was 16, and you were
17 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my parents had to sign for me to
Yeah.
give me the permission to
Absolutely,
to get married
Yeah.
to him. And at that time, even though our friends and our family, they loved us, but it was like they were concerned. They were concerned of the
Sure.
ones who were older, our peers. you know, oh,
Didn't matter.
yeah,
It's
this
a
is
great
good
thing.
like that. But you know, the older ones, they understood the step that we were getting ready to take, which we didn't.
Nope.
We just felt that, okay, well, reading this
gonna
fairy
get married.
tale, you know, we're going to get married,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
three of us, we're going to live happily ever after, you know.
Yeah.
But one thing I could say that in the midst of all this, that, you know, my mom, what she did, she sat me down, she shared something with me that even to this day, I felt it was like the glue that kept me grounded as that teenage wife, the teenage mom, not having anybody there to really show me to navigate my life in all these aspects of
Right,
it.
right.
And she told me, she said, whatever the word she gave me, at that time when she spoke it, I'm like, what is she talking about? It sound foreign, like a riddle.
Sure.
But every time when I would find myself getting discouraged, or feel like I got to give up this, her words would come back. And it gave me just that fuel just to say, let me move a little bit further, you know, a little bit further like that.
You know, and unlike you though, you know, I really didn't have a plan, nor did I have anyone to coach me through this process. You know, so I kind of felt like I was on an island, so to speak, by myself. You know, But again, as you stated, you know, when us coming together, it was that. I don't know, the thing that I needed, because we had each other. So therefore, what I wasn't getting from mentorship from others, we gained it, you know, through ourselves. You know, that's why I felt that us coming together was it enabled me to make it through those earlier years. You know?
Right. Yeah. And okay, wedding took place. You know. Now we got to learn to live together. And I guess the culture shock came when moving from rural South Carolina
Oh yeah.
to Brooklyn, New York, and never lived in the city before.
Yeah.
And I can remember how I felt, because then you had experience because you would always visit the city.
Yeah,
you know, you were accustomed to it.
Yeah. Of course, like I said, that was your first time.
Yeah.
You know, living in that type of environment. So yeah, it was a shock for you. It was a culture shock. It was different.
Yeah. Getting, you know, and I can remember, like, oh my God, what is all this? The noise and the movement and all the other stuff going on. But you know, when we finally got to the apartment, I walk in the apartment, guys, and oh, it was nice. He had it all decked out and everything like that. And I was excited. Wow. This is our home, because at first it was just the two of us, because our baby, you know, we left him with our parents, you know, for the time being until we really got settled. So we were like getting ready to start a honeymoon, you know, and at first it was good, but then it was that part of me that after a while I got that longing. That longing for the familiar.
Missing home. Now.
Where's my mom?
Yeah.
Where's my dad? Because mom, I'm only 16. I'm 16 years old.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Where's my friends? My cousins? You know, moving up and down, doing what teenagers are supposed to do.
Yeah.
And now I realize that when I wake up, that mom is there not to cook. My older sister, my dad's not to. I got to cook. I have to clean. I got to be responsible. I have a husband that I have to take care of. How am I supposed to do all this, you know? And but after all that, you know, struggling with my emotions and stuff like that, I think the most defining moment was that the longing took me to a place of feeling that eventually that this was just a dream, that I'm in a dream, and eventually I'm going to wake up, and just like how, you know, with Dorothy on the Wizard of Oz, she's saying that there's no place
like
I'm
home.
like, there's no place like home, Jojo.
Oh, yeah.
No place like home. And I said, one of these days I'm gonna go back home.
Yeah.
A week went by, a month went by.
This is it.
And I'm like, but I need to get back home.
Yeah.
But eventually I settled down and realized, but this is my life.
This is it.
this is my life,
Yeah.
and I mean, it just took me back.
Sure, sure.
You know,
Yeah, yeah, and just like you, it was something different. Again, we wasn't accustomed to this thing called marriage. We especially at that age. So we were accustomed to doing whatever folks at that age do. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, you said, hey, you miss the camaraderie of your family, your friends and your cousins, and like me, But what now we had to make that shift and say, you know what, we got to build a life together now.
Right, yeah.
So difficult period. It was very challenging.
Yeah.
It was.
yeah,
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
But we can honestly say what really kept us together. It was just something in the inside that simply just attached, that we had that attachment, that we couldn't. It wasn't the fact of saying that we couldn't. I don't believe that I couldn't go back home.
Right.
Because I believe I could have gone back home, and my parents, some of my family, they will welcome me because, well, it was. We understand that's difficult for you, but it was just something that it just wasn't right. The same way you go ahead and just keep doing it. Try it.
That's it.
Eventually, and regardless of how difficult things were, because I'm gonna tell you, no one before would imagine how it is unless you guys have experienced it. But being a parent, being a
Teenage parent.
a teenage wife,
Yeah.
it's very difficult because at that time I didn't know me.
Absolutely.
And then trying to figure out, trying to help you, and you trying to find your way in the world, and then we got the kid,
Yeah.
and then it was just so much.
Sure.
When it comes down to finances and how to balance a lot of stuff, it was just
Yeah.
so difficult.
Yeah.
Okay?
But I believe that through all of those challenges, that we experienced as teenagers, and teenage parent during that time, I believe it helped build something.
Yeah.
And that's why you were saying to yourself, hey, I could go back home, but I don't want to. I want to take this, and I want to learn from it, and I want to build upon it, And I believe that speaks something, and I believe that's what led us to where we are right now.
Right.
I
Yeah.
really do believe,
Yeah.
because we were challenged there to say, you know what are you going to do? You're going to sink or you're going to swim?
Right.
And we made the determination that we're going to swim our way through this.
We were right.
Yeah.
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 And we can say right now that we're still here, and we can actually look at after all the things that we went through. Okay, the difficult moments, the good moments, time of that, but we are still here.
Still here.
Okay.
That's something. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We are still here.
You know,
And then
so I don't know. You guys may be able to relate to what we just shared. You may not start out as young as we did as teenagers and being parent as teenagers, but I believe that some of the stuff that we encountered, I think some of you probably have encountered as well, and I believe that was a catalyst to take you guys to the level where you are in your marriage right now. Difficult moments, it may not been the early marriage or the become a parent as teenagers, but something that took place early on in the marriage, all right, helped catapult you over to where you are right now. And Bernice and I, we keep reflecting back on that, because even when we hit difficult moments, we often reflect back to see where we started, because where we started, it actually played a major role in where we are right now. So I don't despise that beginning. As difficult as it was, I don't despise it, because it plays even now a major role in our marriage.
Right. Yeah. And even in the midst of you get to a place where you say, okay, well now, hey, we done went through that. We done had all this. Now it's just the two of us. Now what?
That's it.
Now what? And you may be looking at each other, but now what?
Now what?
But just like how time is together, our belief is that your marriage is not over.
No, it's not.
It's not. It shouldn't be stagnant. It should not die. The division shouldn't be taking place and stuff like that. This should be the most glorious time.
Sure. That's
The
it.
time, and why? Because hey, this is the time to come together. That you don't have that distraction of the career, trying to keep the career going,
Yeah.
and
Raising
all
the children.
yeah,
Yeah.
and all the other stuff,
Sure,
and
yeah.
and you know, it's just your life is more like a slower pace.
It is. It
And I know it's difficult to deal with, because I know when the kids was around, it kept us going,
Sure, it
because
did,
our
yeah.
life was around
Finding
our
the-
kids and
right.
our career and stuff. And I remember when all the kids gone, and then now,
Hmm.
the very first time, and especially after my husband retired, and I'm like, okay, he is home. What are we supposed to do?
now? Yeah.
Because I have my own routine.
Sure. Yeah.
I have my daily routine, and I'm like, how can I fit him
Into
in
my
this
life.
routine? And I guess you were like, well, how do I fit into here? Because now I'm home. I'm used to going out.
Yes. Yes.
And at first it was very difficult.
You
You know.
and the truth to be told, all right, I think it was designed to be that way, all right, because think about it. In other words, if there's no change that ever take place, all right, then there's no need to try to determine, okay, how can I grow? How could we make it to another level? So these difficult points come, these changes come, that we readjust, all right? And I believe this is where Timeless Together kind of focus in on that, because we realize that we have already grown through the years. All right? All right. In other words, I think we can look at it as an old building. Okay, the building has been constructed. Okay, all right. The foundation is there. All right, you got everything framed up, built up. You got the roof and everything else. But over time, all right, if without maintenance, what happens to that building? It tends to deteriorate.
Right.
The foundation is still in place. All right, but listen, every now and then you're going to have to put some paint on that building. Every now and then you're going to have to change the shingles on that
Right,
roof. all right?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
if you don't do that, then what? The building inevitably would deteriorate.
Deteriorate, right,
So in
yes.
other words, I believe as we grow in the marriage, these changes are necessary. All right?
Yeah.
All right. And we just build on the foundation of what the marriage is all about, right? We add some paint to it to bring out the lust and the beauty of it all. All right. Change that roof so that guess what? The element won't be leaking in upon
Right,
us. all
yes,
And
yeah.
how do we do that? By growing together and understanding each other. All right. Understand that Bernice changed. All right.
Yes.
Bernice understands that Arnold changed, right, over the years. All right. So what we had to do, she had to recognize, okay, what do I need to do, all right, to be able to understand Arnold in this age, in marriage, and likewise, I'm saying, okay, what do I need to do to really begin to understand Bernice? Because a lot of things have changed.
Right,
She's
yes.
not liking the things that she used to like back then. All right. She's not seeing things the way she saw things back then.
Right,
So
yeah.
now I have to make that change because what? I want to ensure that, guess what? She gets some fresh paint. She gets that new roof or whatever it needs that makes her who she needs to be. And likewise with
Right,
me.
yes,
All right.
yeah.
So this is where I believe that though it's challenging, I believe this is where we can find the beauty in it all.
Right, yes.
The beauty in it all.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And you know, we just want you to encourage you that it doesn't matter where the position. And you keep saying she's saying that because I need to keep reiterating that it doesn't matter the place where your marriage is right now.
That's it.
We've been there.
Surely.
Okay, we've been there, and what we're doing, we don't confess to have it all together.
No, we don't.
There are still some things that
Still working on.
we have to work through, and we are working it out. And I believe that as we go and as we understanding it and connecting with each other,
key.
a lot of stuff is like, you know, falling into place, falling up and falling into place.
Yes.
You know, but so all you guys need to do is have a mindset of the intention of saying, you know, then we are going to stay connected. We are going to stay together, even though we may not be connected,
Right.
but we realize that we're going to have to find we have to find that place of connectivity, again. It's just like with with electrical thing.
Okay.
You can put that. You probably
Plug
can
it
put
in.
that, plug it in, and you went, why it's not working?
Sure.
Why it's not working?
Sure.
Okay. And then sometimes you think it's you go back to the receptacle, realize I don't have it secured in there. Okay. But it's in the same place, so you may be together, but you're not connected.
That's it.
Okay. And all you have to do is find that connectivity. What was that one thing? That one thing that really attracted you guys together in the beginning.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And when you focus on that and say, you know that, that's what it was. That's what it is.
Sure.
And it's not that. What it is, it got dormant
That's all.
because of the cares of the world, the things what was necessary to do at that time to build the career, to build the family,
Sure.
and that thing just it became lesser and lesser.
Yeah.
So now what you have to do, you got to just reach back and say, let's pull it, polish it off,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And let's start building
over
back
again.
on that again.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely. you know.
yes.
And that's a good point. It's that one thing. That's all it is. It's just that one thing that you need to focus on.
Right, yes.
All right. Because I often used to share with you, I said, over the years, I said, wow, it seems as though our love is renewed. All right. In other words, you can have a difficult period during that 1 year. All right. But something happens within that 1 year that makes you want to say, you know what? Wow, we can make this thing better.
Yeah.
All right. So you know what? Even in difficult moments, all right, if you reflect on that one thing that drew the two of you together, begin to focus on that one thing, go back to it. That's the foundation of it all.
Yes.
All right. And now begin to build on that. All right. If the framework is still in place, you just need some polishing, you just need some paint, or you just need to have the shingle replaced. Guess what? Begin to work on that one thing. And I can assure you, just like us, we've been now, what, 47?
47 will be 48.
47 years. All right?
This year.
And we had to keep renewing it. We had to keep renewing it every year.
Yeah. And
Because it's about a refreshing.
right, yeah. And there are some points in our life where there's a part of the building that totally fell down.
It fell. It fell.
It really did.
But
you
it
know?
wasn't the main structure.
No, no.
It wasn't the main
no.
structure.
Yeah.
Just something that was added on to it, all right, just for, the aesthetics. All right? But guess what? We kept the structure into place.
Yeah. And we just want to leave that with you guys and hope that you really got something from what we shared today.
Yes.
But we want to challenge you this week to go back, even if you have to do it, just reminisce and say, what is it? What was it that attracted me? Attracted us, or individually as the wife say, what attracted me to my husband?
Yeah.
And the husband, what attracted me to my wife?
Yes.
What was that thing? It could have been just one thing that you guys just came together with, or it could have been something differently, and then realize that now that is the origin. That was the beginning of our relationship.
Yes.
And just reach back, brush it off, and say, now this is what we're going to build on, because the foundation is still there.
Still there.
So we challenge you guys, do that this
Do
week,
that, do
okay?
that, do
And
that.
of course, we just thank you all for being with us.
It was,
You
again,
know.
a pleasure just to be here, be able to sit here with you guys again today and just kind of share with you, what was shared with us.
Right, yeah.
And as Bernice alluded to earlier, trust me, we don't have it all together, but we know how to get it. And this is what we are sharing with you.
Right, yeah.
We just want to share that with you. All right?
Yeah.
So again, thank you again
Yes.
for showing up here with us at Timeless together.
Yeah.
And where love.
Grows stronger
Through
through
the
the
years.
years.
God bless you.
God bless you
And we'll
guys.
see you on the next session.
Okay. God
Bye.
bless.
What happens in a marriage when all the children have left home and the career has ended? Now we need to learn each other after 46 years of marriage. I need to know who you are, and you need to know who I am. Can we have a honeymoon all over again? I still remember our first year.